Hello everybody and welcome to Notorious Yugioh. I'm Notorious Cly and this is another Rokket Resonator replay video. I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's been a very long, very hard week for me, but I still want to get a video out tomorrow, so I needed something easy to do. And this is about as easy as it gets. We're going to go over a couple replays. I'm going to talk my way through them, tell you what I was thinking, tell you my game plan going into each one of them, and hopefully you guys can get some cool insights on how the deck works. As you can see, I'm currently in Legend Rank 2. I think I'm 7-3 in my last 10. So the deck is performing pretty well. I have some more founded observations about the deck that I'll probably end up sharing with you guys sometime, probably in this video. But yeah, it's been good. Not great, but good. Very enjoyable to play though. Incredibly fun deck to play. I think the only 3 losses I've had that I can remember, Galaxy Photon just didn't have what I needed to beat the Photon Lord pass. I think I get hit with an IDP in that one too, and that's what sealed the deal. So there was definitely no way to win it. And Crawler was Mech Knights, and Yugi was Mech Knights. It's a tier 1 deck. We're not a tier deck, going against a tier 1 deck, and we don't really have any interactions or plays that pose a significant threat to Mech Knights. If I'm being perfectly honest, the biggest card that swings the matchup in their favor is World Legacy Secrets. Their turn 1 board without secrets is actually very beatable for Resonators. You can wipe their entire board through double Dark Ends, through Hot Red, or even making Big Dude Turbo and just smashing over stuff. If Secrets gets banned, probably have a better chance against them. Yes, they'll be able to replace Secrets with other more powerful back row, and probably will, but it won't be searchable, so it won't be as accessible, so the matchup might become a little more fair. That's enough about talking about Mech Knights, though. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing about them, just as tired as I am right now. So let's go ahead and watch some replays. This first replay is against Paulchenko. Paulchenko? I wonder if that's a play on words, their name. It was in Platinum, and this one is kind of cool, specifically because it shows how to play around a certain floodgate that shuts the deck down. So our opponent is going to go first. We're going to go second. Hand looks very mediocre. Chalice and MST are nice, but double red is never what you want to see. You want to see at least one way to Crimson. And they're playing Gravekeepers. They're going to search the Necrovalley. And Necrovalley. Set 1, set monster, pass. So right here, we are going to MST this back row. I top deck to Crimson. We're in business. We have what we need to play around Necrovalley, and that's what I specifically wanted to show you in this matchup. Necrovalley does not hurt me here. What can hurt me is this mysterious back row. If it is anything to interrupt me, then we lose, because it's going to cut off my path to play around Necrovalley. So we're going to MST this, see what happens. It's Necrovalley Temple. It's not going to do anything. It's going to search Imperial Tomb of the Necrovalley. Let's take a look at the duel log, see what it was. Yep, Imperial Tombs of the Necrovalley. If you read it, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while both a Gravekeeper's monster and Necrovalley are on the field, negate the activation, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. They do not have a Gravekeeper monster on their field. This is probably a Gravekeeper monster, but it is in face down defense position. Face down defense position monsters do not count as any of the things they are. It has no level, it has no attack, it has no defense, it has no namesake. It is just a face down monster. Except, of course, if you're using it for a fusion summon, but that's a weird ruling, and that goes like that because Konami said so. So this is essentially now a dead back row, and we can now successfully play around this Necrovalley. So Demon's Resonance, swap out one of the reds for a wild one. And we could do this 2 ways. I normal red. You could also start by special in Crimson. The important thing is that you get red on the field and Crimson on the field, and you use the red to synchro summon into the Red Rising, so that Crimson stays face up on the field with the Red Rising Dragon. Ignore the activation. I know it's not going to resolve. Click yes, have it. What can I say? So use Crimson to special summon the 2 reds from deck. Make Dark Cat and Dragon, and I believe our opponent's going to scoop here. Nope, they scoop, because we have an easy OTK after that. They're dead on board. That's how you play around Necrovalley, folks. Yes, you have to open kind of a specific hand, but I think opening 2 Resonators, well, specifically 1 way to Crimson, another Resonator, and a wild one, really not too hard to ask. We have another Forbidden Chalice left over too, so that's nice. Okay, let's move on to our next replay. Alright, our next duel is up against Altair. They were in Legend Rank 5. Good for them. Almost at King of Games. Maybe I'll get there. I haven't even had time to play Casey Cup this season, so that's a little disappointing. Alright, so we're going to go first. And they're playing what we appear to be Rockets. So we grab a Crimson off the call. We're going to swap the red for Wandering King Wildwind. And this was another one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this replay specifically. At this point, on the activation of Crimson, they have something in their hand that is chainable. This to me means two things: Thunder Dragon Dark or DD Crow. I don't really know what the restrictions are for blasting Boral. None. So it theoretically could be Thunder Dragons, and they're using the Thunder Dragon Dark as a bluff. But when I see that activation, as soon as the card hits the graveyard and nothing else is happening, I'm thinking DD Crow. I'm going to play around DD Crow. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and special the Wildwind, special the Crimson, and normal summon the Tracer. We're going to use the Tracer, since it's a level 4 tuner, to synchro summon with the level 4 non-tuner Wildwind to get our Red Dragon Archfiend. We now have one Dark Dragon Sacred Monster face up on the field with a Crimson Resonator. We now get to special summon up to 2 Resonators from our hand or deck. We played around DD Crow and we made Nova. Pretty nifty play. So we're going to grab 2. We don't need both of them, but in doing so, it allows us to thin our deck a little bit, gain life points, obviously, because we're special summoning red, and leave the Crimson face up on our field. We now have a Dark Dragon Secret Monster and a Crimson Resonator face up on our field. So if they're unable to play past the Chalice plus Red Nova Dragon, and Crimson somehow survives, we can special red from deck. We can use the Wildwind to grab Resonator. We can trade out for another Wildwind via Demon's Resonance, and we're off to the races. We have a ton of material on board. All right, so let's continue. They're going to draw, and they are on salads. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I was not expecting salads in this matchup. I was expecting Rockets. So we'll see how we do here. They have the answer for Red Nova Dragon. They have the Book of Moon. Going to flip it face down. They're going to go ahead and make Balinks. And DD Crow, our Wildwind, killing our follow-up. And they're going to attack with Balinks, hitting the Crimson Resonator. Very interesting. They're going to use Night Cross Wipe, and they're going to wipe our Red Nova Dragon. And we're in a top deck war now. Their hand must have been pretty bad to end up like that. Let's see what cards they had in their hand. They had Book of Moon, Mirror, DD Crow, Cross Wipe, and one unknown. So yeah, their hand was bricked pretty bad. But the DD Crow, if we didn't play around it successfully, would have kind of stopped our turn. So good job on us. They also happen to draw a very crusty 2-card comboed out Red Nova Dragon, but it wasn't out, which is mission critical for Salads. Salads don't really have a good answer for Red Nova Dragon. Yes, they can link climb all the way up into Unicorn, but link Unicorn and say link 3, and it requires a discard. That's a whole lot of investment to get it out of there. Same thing goes for Security Dragon Bounce. It has to be linked to something, so a lot of investment there too. Alright, so we top deck a red, and we're going to go ahead and trade that out for a Wildwind. And we're just going to play Wildwind Beats, baby. We have the Forbidden Chalice and a Dream. I feel like I've been saying that a lot this Ranked Duel season. So they're going to use the Balinks to protect their Falco. We top deck the MST. They set one during their end phase and then try to pass. I'm going to MST the back row because, again, Sanctuary doesn't really threaten me until they start link climbing again. And we hit a cross wipe, which could have been good. That could have stole tempo away from us and put us back in the top deck war. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances here, since I think we're in a winning position. We get the Silver Rocket Dragon off the top, and we're going to use Forbidden Chalice and the damage step to boost it to an exact 2300, giving us lethal. Probably not the best showing from our opponent, considering they did have a bricked hand, but it was teched out to wipe out everything we had. So, yeah, good job on us for playing around DD Crow. Sometimes your opponent makes it easy on you. It's up to you to take advantage of that. A win's a win. And then let's go to our last duel. We're going to keep this a short video. I never like it when these replay videos go on and on and on and on, because they don't really get that interesting. So we're going to go ahead and play against another Varus. I wonder what they're up to. We get to go first again. So I think this is now a good time to bring up one of my observations about this particular build. It's miserable going first. Really miserable going first. Deck's really good going second, especially if you can get into your back row removal. There's basically nothing that can stop you if you draw a handful of Rockets and Resonators. But going first, you're making Red Nova pass, and that's literally it. You are banking on your opponent not having an out to a destruction-proof monster. Not really where you want to be, especially in this meta. Decks are moving so fast. They have so many answers, so much utility in the extra deck. So we're going to make Red Nova Dragon. We're going to grab... we're going to hold on to the Resonator Call and the Quick Launch for follow-up. We have guaranteed follow-up here with our 2 cards. And we have Wild Wind and Grave, so we're sitting pretty there. They're going to go do Rocket things. Tracer Pop. Link 3, Borreload. And here is something that I needed a refresher on, so I'm going to refresh you on this too. Why was Borreload able to steal Red Nova Dragon? Can't Red Nova Dragon banish itself to negate an attack? It has to target. It has to target the monster to negate the attack, which means it does not match up well against Borreload Dragon. This was a mistake on my part. Had I known that ahead of time, I might have tried to wall up instead of giving them a 4,000 attack monster to smash me in the face with and remove basically for free. So yeah, Red Nova Dragon needs to target the Borreload. You can't target the Borreload. Please remember that. Do not commit the same mistake I did. And, oh, this is an even better punish. They stole it. Rapid Trigger into Borreload Furious Dragon. I think that was a misplay on their part. I think they thought they could attack me for game. But Rapid Trigger means the monster that's made with it can only attack monsters special summoned from the extra deck. My life points are not special summoned from the extra deck, so no direct attack for you. We got bailed out on this one. But again, it happens. You can only play what's in front of you. We're going to capitalize. We're going to grab Crimson. We're going to banish the Wild Wind, grab another Crimson. Swap out for full combo, holding on to the 2 quick launches to really flex that in a spot where we need it to go ahead and win. Red Rising, Crimson, bring the red, and they're going to trade here, which is a-okay because we quick launch, we grab the Silver Rocket, we make Red Rising, we keep playing. This is what I mean when the deck is good going second. I know technically we're not going second here, but when you're playing into an interactable board and your opponent doesn't have hard negation and removal, or a lot of negation and removal, it's really easy to play through their interaction. Borreload Furious Dragon in its own right is a really good card. It's best when it's paired up with other monsters that can pop so it can stay on the field. But at the same time, you know, still the 3,000 attack beater that can trade 1-for-1 with your opponent at the drop of a hat. And we push through it on top of our Red Nova Dragon getting swiped from us. So there you go. I think that's going to be it for replays for tonight. Again, wanted to keep this a short, easy video. Hopefully this was cool and informative to you guys, and you got to see some cool stuff that the Rokket Resonator build can do. Observations, just to rehash it, because again, expectation setting is really important to me. This deck is not a meta contender. It's not a meta killer. I don't even know if it has a good matchup against the meta right now, because its turn 1 is abysmal. But your turn 2 is really, really good, and it's really, really fun to play. So make of it what you will. Can definitely hit King of Games. I'm going to hit King of Games. I just need to have the time to actually put in the duels. And it's going to be fun the entire time. So if that's something you're looking for, try it out. If you're looking for something that's going to take over the game, not the deck for you. No big deal. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for watching. As always, be safe, have fun.